The Selfish Podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and waters that this podcast is recorded on.
Everything that we discuss on the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph is for informational purposes only. It's either our own experiences, opinions and insights or our guests. It's not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice and should not be relied upon as health or personal advice. It's time to prioritise yourself and your well-being. Subscribe now and get ready to put yourself first with the Selfish Podcast.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph. It's lovely to be back. We are feeling a little bit low with our energy this morning.
Yes,
we are. So please just bear with us. We've obviously recorded a week before you're hearing this, so you may think back to last week and have a little think about how you were feeling pre-long weekend for those of us here in Adelaide, South Australia. But I'm feeling like a fucking shit show.
Yeah,
like literally just very erratic and emotional.
Yeah.
Are you feeling that?
I am. Yeah, I feel like I just can't, do anything right. I feel a bit inadequate from all aspects of my life. I feel like the house is a fucking mess. I can't get on top of anything. I can't do, I just don't have any time to do anything really. And I think my work's actually not suffering. I think it's more every other aspect of my life. But it's just hard.
Yeah, I'm feeling the hard.
How do you do it?
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how. Do you know what has been coming up a lot for me, and I think that it probably links into this inadequacy that you're feeling too, is that I'm just having a really hard time with time.
Okay.
At the moment. Mm-hmm. And I don't even really know how to describe that other than feeling like time is going extremely fast. Mm-hmm. And I think that I'm accomplishing things.
Yeah.
And yet I feel like I'm not. Like there's this and then there's a sense of urgency that things need to be done when really, like if I just pause and go that doesn't need to be done today.
Yeah.
I'm putting that time pressure on myself.
I was going to say, who's putting the time pressure on? Is it you putting it on yourself or is it other people putting it on
No,
you?
I think it's all on me. I think that I'm taking full responsibility for this feeling. Yet I think that it's more of a bigger thing though too, like the energy of now just feels
heavy,
fast.
Yeah.
And
okay, so for me it feels heavy. For you it feels fast.
It feels fast.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah, but you're feeling.
Oh no, you can feel heavy and fast at the same time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it does. It feels almost a bit frantic.
Frantic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like many balls in the air. I feel like that inadequacy of not fulfilling all those balls in the air.
Yeah.
Like, how you're talking about all the different, areas of your life.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, it was interesting. So this morning I had an early morning call. And so I was up early with Fred because he woke up during my call, but that was fine. I was prepared. I had a bottle ready for him, which I don't know, should a 20-month-old still be having milk in bottles? I don't think.
3.5-year-old has a milk bottle when he goes to bed. Yeah. So that's totally fine.
Yeah,
I mean, you probably, from a speech pathologist point of view, probably not, no. However, from a mother point of view,
he likes his bottle.
Giving the comfort that they need, exactly. I think, look, it's okay. Be kind to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I had the bottle set up anyway, and then after the call, it was only half an hour, then I was sort of just, out in the living room playing with him. And I thought, I could be doing the dishes, I could be doing this. And I was like, no, I'm just going to be, and I'm just going to be with my son because, with the long hours I've been working, calls have been encroaching into bedtime, so I'm not seeing him as much as I would like to in the afternoon/evenings. And it was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like we put so much pressure on ourselves to, I'm not going to do the dishes in the morning. I'm just going to leave them there. This is actually more important for me to be present. And
that is a huge downfall of mine.
Yeah.
Feeling like I need to have the dishes done.
Yes.
And no mess. around me.
Yeah, I would like that too. And then my husband's like, why don't you ever clean up after yourself? And it's like, I actually do. I've got an incredibly busy time at the moment.
Yeah.
And I literally might have 10 minutes in the workday to go upstairs and make myself some lunch. So guess what? My top priority is not fucking putting the dishes away. They can wait and I can do them later.
Yes. It must be tricky working from home.
It is.
Like you do. Yeah.
It is. I mean, in some ways it's great because I can, I had a 6 a.m. call this morning. I've got calls till midnight sometimes. I don't have to go anywhere to do them, but like you would anyway. And I don't have to get ready every day. And, when I was breastfeeding Fred, it was super great because I had that flexibility. But now it's like, it would sometimes just be really nice to just, not be at house because it's hard to find that circuit breaker when work finishes. Because normally you'd be driving in a car.
Have that downtime
with just you, whereas it's like, I might finish call at 6 o'clock and then it's like rush hour.
You walk upstairs.
Rush hour
and
upstairs.
Your mum.
Yeah. And as I'm walking up the stairs, I can hear Freddie giggling because he can hear me coming up. And it's beautiful. And I love that. But it's just very hard because there's no downtime.
There's no time to decompress from one mode to another.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just, I was just looking around the house going, fuck, this place is a fucking mess. And it's just so much clutter. And I mean, we moved back to Australia 4 years ago and we had all of our stuff in Australia in storage. So originally we were only going to be in Singapore for 6 months, ended up being, close to 3 years. So we decided to put all of our stuff in storage, didn't even bother going through it. We thought we're only going to be 6 months, so we don't need to get rid of anything. And then when we were in Singapore, we bought all stuff because we were only going to be 6 months, so it was going to be temporary accommodation. And then because we ended up staying there, we bought, had to buy beds and couches and all that kind of stuff. And so then we shipped all of our stuff back from Singapore. Well, no, sorry, we sold most of our stuff, but we did have some stuff with us and we bought clothes and, knickknacks and all that kind of stuff, candles, whatever one buys that we wanted to bring back with us. And we then had all of our stuff in storage and then all of our stuff from Singapore to go through. And we were renting a place down here and then I got pregnant with Arthur and then we're like, I can't wear any of the clothes right now because I'm pregnant, so I'm not going to sort through anything and we don't have anywhere to store all this stuff because we're in a rental. Let's not worry about it. Let's just leave it and we'll sort it out soon. Then Arthur died. And we bought a house within a week of him passing because I couldn't be in that rental we were in because it was the future that we had planned with our baby, right? So we got out of there quick, smart. The agent was a real cunt about it actually, and I was just like, have some compassion. Sorry, and that's not a word I normally use.
It's totally fine.
But they were pretty harsh, yeah. I expected some empathy or compassion or something, but just, that wasn't a nice experience. Anyway, bought a house. Their rental agent, who we were renting from,
Yes.
Bought the house, then all of our stuff comes in. We don't have fucking headspace to go through it. And then that grief and that mental what is it called? It's almost the it's not mental load, the word I'm looking for. The tiredness, that exhaustion, the grief exhaustion. And even now, I don't think my brain works as fast as it used to. I think I get tired a lot easier. And my memory's not what it was. So you've got this shadow that falls, a fogginess. That's exactly the brain fog. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And then get pregnant with Fred. And then I've had a newborn, and that's been 4 years, and these boxes still haven't gone through.
Yeah,
and I haven't had the.
We haven't had time either.
Now I'm like, I need to go through those boxes.
Yeah, they're feeling
I just am feeling like I need to get rid of all of that old energy, and even with clothes, it's hard because, 2 pregnancies later, I'm a different shape. I'm, my mind, I'm still like, I'm going to get back to what I was because I want to wear all those clothes again, but. I've got a sort of different style now in a way, but there's just a lot of shit. I'm getting really upset about it. But then it's like, well, when do I do it? Because I'm working full time. My job supports our family. Then when I'm not working, I'm looking after my family or being with my family. And if not, I'm then trying to fit in some fucking treatments and healing shit so I can not be such a fucking hot mess all the time. And it's just when do you... when
do you do that kind of stuff? I think sometimes with this decluttering, I don't know whether this is helpful, but when I've kind of tackled it, so say I will think about an item like the kids' toys, and so then I will just focus on the kids' toys. So it's or just going room by room or drawer by drawer.
It just feels too overwhelming, to be honest with you. Like I feel like I just need to do it in a big chunk. And
Do you get someone to do it for you?
No, because I want to do it. And I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like a hoarder by nature. I love hoarding. Like, we were talking when we were talking to Amelia.
Yeah.
Plastic glass jars, like
She tried to blame
bags.
the husband, but
exactly, it was me. Paper bags. I love paper bags. You know,
That
those
is so weird.
like thicker paper bags. Like, I keep them all.
Do you?
I've got like a little collection.
Okay, we need to stop this.
Sorry, no, but that's not the stuff that I need to hoard because that's organised quite nicely. But sorry, not the stuff I need to get rid of, but it's just, all of this. But yeah, I can barely fucking keep up with doing the dishes, in the washing machine or dishwasher, whatever the fuck it's called. The
Washing machine,
dishwasher, let alone doing this other stuff. So I don't know. I just feel totally like.
a bit discombobulated.
And then my husband's like, I think he thinks I'm not doing anything around the house. And it's like, hang on, I told you this is a very busy period. And I'm in Singapore next week for work, and then I had last week off for Arthur's birthday.
Yes.
An anniversary. And like also, guess what? This time of year I just want to lie in bed and cry all day.
Yeah. And you should be able to do that.
Yeah. So I just feel like everyone's on my back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Including probably I'm the biggest one on my back. But it's just like fucking I want everyone to go away. And
enemy.
I want a magic wand. Or just like, I was thinking maybe I'll just like set fire to the house. Like I actually thought that the other day.
Okay, let's not set fire to the house. Just putting it out there. If you pick up a match anytime or a lighter, please call me. And I will be there to help you not do that. But I also understand that feeling of just wanting it to be done.
Yeah.
Just for, as you say, the magic wand to appear.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Look, life at the moment is a little bit up and down. I have to be really honest. And it's due mainly, well, not mainly, but a lot of it is due to our little boy, Raph, who has just started school. And so Rafi is having a really challenging time with drop-offs, and it's kind of falling on my shoulders at the moment because that's just the way it works, like Adam starts work early and I have more flexibility. So I'm the one that's doing the drop-offs. But at the same time, though, there's a huge attachment between Raph and myself for some reason, which I'm kind of like, well, I understand it because I'm his mum.
You're his mummy.
Yeah. And he has that safe space with me. I guess I also go like, have I created this like attachment that it isn't like that he is fearful that I won't come back, or then my mind goes to like, I actually went back to work after having Rafi. Like I started work actually after 6 weeks with Raph because I had Raw and I only had 2 employees. One employee actually left 1 week after I got back from the hospital with, actually I think it was on the day I got back from the hospital with Raph. She resigned. So I had to manage that, and then had one other employee who was amazing and did a fantastic job for me, but also like just didn't have that support network that I do now. If I was to have a baby now, it would be amazing. Yeah. I would be like taking the time off and, you know, being with my baby, and just at that point in time, I just didn't have the systems and processes and back end of Raw set up at all. And so I guess for me, I then went back after 4 months and was doing the expressing, like going and picking Raph up, expressing or feeding him, then going back to the school to see some more kids. And anyway, my mind goes back to that time and I think, have I created some disorder in our attachment that now is creating this difficulty with him separating from me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably thinking
I think you're probably thinking
too deep into it.
Well, yeah, but that's what we do, right?
I think as mums, you just like kind of.
You go, how can I possibly blame myself for this? Oh yeah, okay, I can do it.
Yeah. So
all right, sure. Okay, I'm to blame. It's something I did. But also, like, it's, I think with the attachment thing, like, I think almost as a culture, we sort of think that children shouldn't be attached. Like sometimes, like, so Fred's almost, or he's 20 months, he's still sleeping in our room. Yeah. And part of that reason is because, well, we've got a 2-story house, 1 bedroom's upstairs, all the other bedrooms are downstairs.
Yep.
We're in the middle of fixing that, but then, you know, and organising downstairs. But part of me is a little bit embarrassed to say that he still sleeps in our room.
So I actually many love parents co-sleep.
And you know what? I love it.
Should be,
I actually love it. But his cot's in our room, right? Like, it would be good if his cot was in our own room. But then I'm like, why do we? Yeah, but also why do I feel like that? You know, so I've sort of talked myself down from that, or just tried to explore that a little bit more, because attachment is important. Like, children should be attached to their mothers, and
have that safe space.
Yeah, and so that's really beautiful that he has that safe space. But I suppose it's really not.
It just
not
becomes
nice
challenging when
the school drops.
He's starting school, and
so
I want him to. He has a great day at school, and yet it's just this. He's like a little koala on me, screaming and yelling, and my heart goes out to any other mums or parents who have been through this as well. I've got so much love and compassion, and just really see other parents that have gone through this or are to go through this now, because I think, having not been through it myself before, I haven't really been in that headspace to be able to understand it and have that compassion. But it implicates the rest of your day with, you know, like, my nervous system is completely shot after I do that drop off. And then my mind goes to thinking about, what's his nervous system like? Like, how is he? But a beautiful friend and colleague of mine yesterday sat me down, and she's got some older children herself, and she just said, like, I explained this to her about, I've been thinking about his nervous system, and she said, I don't think that children have the exact same, like, they just let their emotions out.
Exactly.
And then they can move on.
Yep.
And that was just, like, really comforting to kind of hear, because, yeah, I guess us as adults, then we kind of go in and we make up stories and we create these, like, this perpetuation of the situation, I guess. But I think I now have a, like, tiny little glimmer of, like, hope that Rafi has. I know that he has a great day, and I'm kind of quite okay with that. He has these big emotions, and then he can move on with his day, and
that's very
without having that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I send you love, because that's really challenging. If every, you know, and then it probably makes you not want to do drop off.
Yeah,
and it
does. It creates this anxiety around it, and, you know, it's like my parents are being really supportive and trying to help out, but then today, like, it implicated them, and it's just like it really. You know, it takes a village, right, to raise a child, and I'm seeing that. I feel it, and I'm so appreciative of it. It's just sometimes just knowing, like, how the fuck to move forward in these situations that are a little bit challenging, and just to make him have a happy drop off. Like, that's my, like, what I would love. So if there's anyone out there who has any tips or tricks up their sleeve, you know, obviously we've tried many different things, and I realise too, it's only week 6, it's the first term that he's, you know.
Yeah, but that's already 6 weeks that you've been dealing with this on the daily, and
it's quite tiring. I think that's why I'm feeling so, like, time is like something, and then there's just like this energy, just lower energy, I guess.
Well, because your day's starting, you're getting ready, and then you've got this battle every morning. And it's not just a battle, it's like an emotional like ripping your heart out.
And I think the other thing is, I don't know if other parents out there too probably experience this, but it's that unknown. Like, sometimes he will just go into the classroom, hardly ever he has, but it's that unknown of, like, what it's going to be like, I think. Yeah. But anyway, that's us
like
in
Russian roulette.
nutshell.
Roulette, you don't know what's going to...
No, yeah. Who knows? Anyway, he didn't go to school today because he wouldn't get out of the car.
Oh, babe. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm quite emotional. As you can all probably hear on the through the waves, but Yeah, thanks for hearing me out. And I'm really grateful for this space to kind of be able to share our challenges and
Yes.
the word shortcomings is coming to my mind, but that is completely not the right terminology to be saying. But I think sometimes as parents, like, we probably feel like we don't have the skill set to be able to manage some of these things, and it's that constant learning on the fly and trying things and faking it before you make it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think we're all just trying to do our best and just get through. That's what I said to Hugh, and he's like, "You didn't clean up after yourself." I was like, "Babe, I'm just trying to do my best.
It's really not a top priority at the moment.
I'm just doing my best."
Yeah. I think that's one
We're
thing
all
too,
just doing our best.
Yeah. Priorities as well. Like, what is the main priority? You know? Like, what's the intention for our day? And is it really to get the fucking dishes done? No, it's not.
No.
You know? Anyway, onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards.
Could you please share with me? I've been wanting to hear about this. You went on a little journey last week into Reiki.
I did.
And we have both now experienced Reiki healing on ourselves, but you dove into Reiki 1 healing.
I did.
1.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that experience?
I did level 1 attunements.
Attunement.
Yes. So I do want to talk about it. I feel like I'm not ready to talk about it in too much detail.
No, that's fine.
Because I feel like last week was Arthur's week, which is what we've
dubbed it as. Do you want me to chop this out?
No,
do you want to go into?
No. Because I'll just ignore your question and just talk about what I want to. Okay. So we were away in Lorne all of last week, and then
I should have read that better.
No. And then we drove back on Saturday, and then this was on Sunday, and then this week has just been so hectic. I feel like I haven't had a chance to really think about the day, but it was very it was a magical day.
Beautiful.
It was absolutely magical. And Reiki has had, is something that I discovered, just recently. As you all know, last week we re-released the Reiki episode, which did you listen to that, by the way?
No.
Okay.
I don't have time to re-listen.
I re-listened to the first bit of it, the first 6 minutes, and then I got
How
distracted.
were we?
I thought we weren't too bad.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I think we definitely gotten
improved
and probably expanded some of our vocabulary in terms of falling back to words that are our crutches.
Oh, yes.
And probably giving each other a bit more space. Or mainly me, because I was used to doing live radio where you cannot have a second of silence. So I remember thinking, even if you were pausing, I was like, fuck, we can't have dead air.
Yes.
So,
and I am very much, I do take my time, don't I, to get my words out, I think, a lot of the time. So I'm quite slow.
That's good. It's good.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so we had, obviously, so we had the Reiki episode last week, which was just funny timing. But it was just, it was really magical. It was this, in terms of how I came across the course. So I got my sacred marking done, which I also did an episode about, and I follow her on Instagram. And I'd seen that she had just done her level 2 attunements and posted a picture. So I went through to the picture. I had a look at the account that had posted the picture, and it was this lovely lady, Kirsty, or it might be Christy.
That always stuffs me out.
I really
that is a real
struggle. And my
pain
phone
point
has
for me.
Yeah, my phone has died, so I can't Google it, but I will. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was this lovely lady,
Kirsty, we love you.
Christy,
Yep.
and
I feel like that's not just us. I feel like that's
I feel like it's everyone. And
I think
it was
just give ourselves grace.
Yeah, thank you. But I really hate getting people's names wrong. I really it really bothers me.
Irks you.
Yeah, because the name is the most important word for that person. Your name. Bit of Dale Carnegie 101.
Oh, I don't know him.
Oh, okay. We'll get into it. We'll do a thing. He wrote this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So he's got his 10 golden rules, and one of them is your name is your most important thing. Yes,
Wow. Okay.
yes. And there were four women in total, including myself, who were having me doing the level 1.
Oh.
And it was just like, really. I've been struggling in terms of what I do next with my life. I feel like, my work is great, but it's probably not where I need to be. And I'm not going to quit straight away. I want to think about what I do next. But I felt a real sense of urgency and trying to work out what to do and how to do it. And because I am the main income earner, like how do I replace that income? And anyway, so I've been feeling a lot of pull, and I sort of mentioned something because we were doing some chakra alignment and my throat chakra is blocked. And I felt like it's been blocked for quite a while. And I said, I feel like I'm doing this self-expression through stuff like the podcast, which I feel like is really helping me. But I feel like there's a real head-heart disconnection because for work I have to be very head and strategic and thinking and that. And so it's hard to flick the switch, especially when I am working at all times of the day. So anyway, I sort of said to the group, I said, I think this is what it is and I don't know what's happening. And then I went to the bathroom, and then when we came back we did the meditation, and like straight away it just like came to me. Like it just dropped into my intuition about, okay, actually, Steph, it's not about you right now, it's about Hugh having space and Hugh having his time. And it's true, like Hugh gave up, he couldn't work when we were in Singapore. And then the last 3 years have been for when you are going through profound loss and profound grief, there's no hope, there's no creativity. He's a creative person. His craft is creativity. And so he's really not been able to do much work. So that really the last 7 years he's not been working. So I feel like it's his time. So we're gonna work out what that looks like and how we can make that happen, because he's doing majority of the caring for Fred right now, that default parent role, and also, looking after me and looking after the house and all of that kind of stuff. But I feel like I want to nurture. I want to be that. I want to play that role. Yeah. So it's just working out, how on earth do I do that?
How to.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Reiki was, it was really, really
it sounds like it was really insightful, and it's given clarity.
Insightful, so much clarity, and I look forward to sort of, practicing. Practicing. I'd love to. If you would like to have a go, maybe next week or the week after.
Love it.
But yeah, it was really good. And with, so anyway, I was going back to the story of how I got into it. So yeah, I saw this post on Instagram. And so I went to her Instagram page, and then I saw a story that she had just posted saying on the 3rd of the 3rd, so 3rd of March, I'm doing this, one person's dropped out. Would anyone like to join the level 1? And so I texted her straight away.
Yes.
Didn't even think about it, didn't even, do any research into anything. I was just like, yep, I'm doing it. And it felt so right.
Yeah.
And then I thought to her, I contacted her and I said, listen, actually the timing wise, I've just be coming off, like the day before is my son's, the day that he passed 3 years ago, but again 3. And I've been seeing so many 3. So 3, and will my energy be too heavy or this or that, or, and she's like, no, if you obviously see how you feel, but if you've been drawn to this and if you feel like it's, and I do, she goes, if you feel like you still want to do it, then do it.
And I think in that space too, like you were probably obviously felt something from her that was going to be a safe space for you to show up however you needed to show up too.
Yes, yeah.
I feel like anyone that's going in to explore Reiki, you come from a space of understanding self and, that healing aspect. And so it's probably the most perfect space for you to be on that day.
Yeah, and the other women who were doing the level 1 were like just also amazing and also just so intuitive, like really trusting their intuition. Yeah. And I think I've said to you before, like I really struggle with my intuition. Like sometimes like I feel things so like, yes, that is definitely what we're doing, and I feel things really definitively. But then other times I feel like, how did I not know that my baby was dying in me? or, you know, he had a lack of oxygen at some point in utero. So it happened on my watch, right? So how did I not know that? How can I ever trust myself? How can I ever trust my body again if I didn't know that? And the whole pregnancy, I was obsessed with my placenta. I was fucking obsessed with it. I'd talk about it all the time. I asked all my sisters about their placenta. I would ask the doctor. I would always ask them to look at it. And, you know, apparently the placenta was okay, but I think the placenta was to blame. But, you know, I don't know. But that's just, you know, so I sort of go, well, how did I not listen to that? And I was like, well, what was I supposed to do? Like I explored that as much as I could.
Absolutely. You, with all the information you had at that time, it sounds like you were doing everything in your power to explore that.
But how can I trust myself?
Yeah. It'll take time.
How can I forgive myself? And so then doing things like, you know, the Reiki and all of that is, you've got to trust your intuition, right?
But your intuition is so soft and it whispers. And I think sometimes because the pace of life that we're in, it's really hard to hear those little whispers because we're not in sync with that. We're not in sync with our bodies. To be honest, like it's more, you know, can we say it's societal that we've kind of like just moved away from our body's innate wisdom, and so it is so quiet, you know. And I guess you can always look back and have these moments of like, what if, or, you know, did I do this or whatever, but I think
it's hard not to have those moments, or it's hard not to live in those moments.
Yeah.
It's hard not to live in those moments.
And I have not experienced.
Yeah, I have to make a choice to not live in those moments because there's nothing I can do.
And I think, you know, feeling Arthur around us too, you know, he, I'm sure, would not want you to be, those moments.
It's just hard, and especially like this time of year is, you know,
so raw,
devastating,
and just all the emotions that you must be going through is just, it completely like overwhelming. It's actually amazing that you show up and that you're here and you're doing these and you're talking about things. It's amazing that you showed up to the Reiki and you were there and you did it.
Well, I think next year I'm going to take off 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, because I find the week before very hard.
Absolutely.
So hard. And the week before is when we recorded our episode with Burns, which was so much fun to record. And afterwards we did the
dance.
Hold'em dance, which, oh my God, I can't believe we posted that. I can't believe, I just was like, oh my God, that's so cringe.
So cringe.
Oh, but also fun. Like every time I look at it, I'm like cringing, but I'm also like, but we had
laughing.
It was very fun.
Yeah, it was really great in the moment. I think sometimes those in the moment moments are the best.
Yes, they sure are.
Be kind to yourself.
Yeah, I try to be.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. We all do so much, and I think it's just a really stark reminder, all the things we've talked about today, you know, like inadequacies, time, guilt, like mum guilt, life guilt, trust, you know, like trusting ourselves, trusting our body.
That's the thing, I can't trust myself or my body. Like I'm building it slowly.
You're building
I'm building
it
it slowly because then we had Freddie and we did a great job.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it's sometimes, like, I don't know whether this would be helpful, but a little trust jar or bucket, you know, like each time you like
I'll smash that bucket. You know what? Like as soon as you're saying that, I'm like, I'll get that bucket.
No,
And
but what I'm meaning is you have something clear, and this is what my business coach has said to me, like to, you know, like so I can see if it's safe for something for me, like my confidence or my power that I hold or whatever it might be. She's kind of often said, like, have like a little bucket or a clear container where you like might write down, you know, today I trusted my body to take me to the gym or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like slowly but surely like building this. And what's quite nice in a clear container is that you see it building up.
Yeah.
And so then, you know, it's that visual representation of like, oh, I'm like building my trust with myself. I don't know. That's just an idea.
No, it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
I haven't done it. So I've been told this, but I have not then followed through and had a piece of paper and done the whole thing. But to me, like, it's something that's stuck with me though, you know, and I'm like, oh, that would be really great. Yeah.
Great thing to do.
It's going to take time.
Yeah. I think I also need to just go back to my psychologist.
Well, yeah, maybe it's
I started
putting back.
I think I was saying I started saying it. It's just good to like around this time of year. It's just and then I would love to also do an episode. We were thinking of recording it today, but I couldn't do it. So we'll do it sometime soon. About some of that, you know, grief stuff.
Yeah, and how to support. How to best
support someone going through something.
Something.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've just come out of a new moon in Pisces, which was quite emotive. And I feel like we are coming, right now when we're recording, we're coming into the new moon, which is on the 10th of March. And so when we drop this episode, it's the 13th. So we're like in the post new moon kind of phase, or just coming out of Pisces. As we've talked about, we're in Pisces sun season at the moment too. So it's like very emotive, deep, intuitive. So it's not, it kind of makes sense that we're feeling the feels that we're
like
feeling. But yeah, there's not too many other things. We've got eclipses coming up, which I'll dive into next week. I won't jump into it now. So yeah, it's more just be kind to yourself over these next coming days and weeks. And next week I'll dive into what the eclipses will mean for us. Moving forward. But we're going to pull a card now for our week ahead. And we've got two. Have you pulled two?
I've pulled two. So I've pulled the Three of Wands, which says waiting for your ships to sail in, awaiting results on decision made, progress, expansion, confidence, new horizons, growth, foresight, and a milestone. So I feel like that's our future card.
I love that.
Yeah.
The other thing, like astrologically, is that March is actually the last zodiac sign in like the astrological year. So Aries season, which we're moving into in April, is kind of like the next astrological year. So I really like that kind of like summarize that new start, you know?
Yep. Then I got the Four of Cups, which I think to me is really symbolizing what we're going through now, or just, you know, hopefully coming out of, is contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, feeling unfulfilled, missed opportunity, indifference, discontent, and melancholy. So that was the Four of Cups. And then I just felt really like I wanted to pull another card.
Okay. I love that.
And this is sort of, again, to me feels more like future
orientated. Yeah.
And it is the Page of Swords. And it is witty, communicative, vigilant, curious, mental agility, alert, thirst for knowledge, chatty, relentlessness, inspired, and messenger.
Beautiful.
So there you go.
Curious.
Take from that what you will. Yeah.
Next week. I love it.
Yeah.
In the future. Beautiful.
Yeah. And have you got anything you're looking forward to?
Look, it's yeah, we're coming up to the long weekend here, and there's a beautiful festival called WOM Adelaide, and it's when many different musicians from all around the world come to Botanic Park here in Adelaide, and yeah, it's such a really inspiring and uplifting experience, like 4-day experience, which you can go to 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever the days. Anyway, we're going to that on the weekend. It's going to be 40 degrees.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just at this moment of in my current state of mind, I'm like, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Anyway, I look forward to sharing our great experience next week with you on the pod, because I no doubt, however we show up, even if it's just for a few hours here and there, I know we'll have a great time. So yeah, I look forward to filling you all in on that.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing about it.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Anything for you?
I'm in Singapore next week.
That's right.
Yeah, so Singapore for work next week. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, looking forward to. I feel a bit, uneasy going at the moment, to be honest, because I feel like Hugh's also just, we're both struggling a bit. But I think that's to be expected. But as he said to me today, Steph, it'll be easier without you here, and I'm like. Yeah. Hurts a bit, but fair.
Fair,
because I think
still understand it. They get their rhythm.
Well, it is. Not full time. My heart goes out to all of the people who are solo mums or dads out there, solo parents. That's very, very difficult.
Yes.
But for a short stint, I can understand that feeling. So anyway, that's good. He can do that.
He can do that. You can go to Singapore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since my last work trip, so that will be good.
Wish I was coming. Can I come in your suitcase?
Yeah, for sure.
Bundle me in there.
And just get some of that humidity on my skin.
Good.
So,
yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I think that will be good.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, sending love to you all. If any of you are feeling similarly to Steph and I this week, heartfelt love and compassion goes out to you, and we're always here if you want to slide on into our DMs and have a little chit chat. That's always open for all of you.
Yeah, we love hearing from you.
We really do. So and
if you want to support the podcast, if you value the content that you're getting from us and would like to support it, we do have a Patreon, which we've got a link to in the bottom of our show notes, and also in our Instagram. We've got a link in our bio, and it's a small contribution a month, and it just helps us look at how we can continue to evolve the podcast. We will be having bonus episodes in there at one point in time. At the moment, we're just struggling to even get one bloody week, to be honest with you. But we will be doing that there.
Absolutely.
And as always, if you can help us spread the word, the best way that we can get the pod out there is when you share it with someone that you love. You don't have to love them.
No, care about. All right, beautiful people. Have a great week, and we'll catch you next. Ciao.
Bye. Thank you all so much for listening. And if you enjoyed the pod, what can people do, Chloe?
They can come and follow us on Instagram, and they can like and subscribe on
I never let you do this, do I? I always do this. Yeah. So you can follow us on Instagram at the.selfishpodcast. You can also get subscribed to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we've also just created this new thing called the Inner Circle, which means that you can support the podcast if you value this content. You can give back via the Inner Circle, and you can find a link at the very, very bottom of our show notes.
Yes.
Also in our link tree in Instagram, in our Instagram bio. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.